I'm not impressed with The Last of Us Part Two. I'm really not. I feel like I'm the only one in this. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is I go on Twitter, I go online, and I see the same recurring theme. There's always people talking shit about story-driven games, walking simulator, but then they conveniently change the narrative when it suits them. In this particular case, The Last of Us series, or whatever you want to call it, is a cultural. I don't want to say a phenomenon, but it's definitely one of those popular things where everybody's kind of like jumping on that bandwagon. Oh my God, it's zombies! It was already bad enough that it was zombie games anyway, but they had a different take on the zombie story. You know what I mean? And let's be honest. To be honest with you, everybody is really here for the story. They're there for the story, and that's my problem. That is my problem. I mean, gameplay wise, there's other games that does the same thing that The Last of Us will do or has done. You know what I mean? So what differentiates The Last of Us? Let's talk about the things that is pretty much similar to everything else. They mentioned stealth, and we already had stealth in Metal Gear Solid. We've had it for fucking decades. Um, you got that. Don't, is even in Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 3 even had like dogs that you had to sneak from, and they had animals and stuff like that that you would have to interact with and things like that. So really, the only thing that they have that I could see that's theirs, they mentioned something about a heartbeat system and I guess a block mechanic or some shit like that. Oh, and she can jump too. And the funny thing is I want something new when it comes to games. I really do. I want something new, and that is the problem. Like, okay, for instance, Days Gone, right? Days Gone incorporated the horde mode and incorporated an open world with the horde mode. I mean, you had Dying Light, which got shitted on too, ironically, um, that had open world, and it's just like, they had the horde. I mean, that was like one of the first zombie games that have an open world that had a storyline and everything like that. It was a whole cohesive experience. And then you have Days Gone to introduce the different horror modes and even camps and shit like that, where you can, have like these little safe houses and the bike mechanic. And this is a lot of different things that they had in that game, that The Last of Us is just now doing. People were mentioning about, oh, well, the AI can call each other. They identify, oh, that's my wife, if you kill her wife or whatever the case is, a female. But they have the same shit in Days Gone. They don't call him by name, but it's still there. Oh, he killed her, or he killed him, or he's hiding in the bushes and shit like that. I don't know. When I really look at it, to be honest with you, Naughty Dog has never really been like the pioneers of new things. They've always taken things and refined it to death. Like, they were really good at taking something and making it into like this real, like, fine-tuned perfect little thing. It just was always polished to a machine. All of their games were polished to a machine, and what The Last of Us is Uncharted, a violent Uncharted, is what I see it as. And I'm just not hyped. What I am hyped for, though, is Ghost of Tsushima. It looks like it's trying to do new things there. It really does. And I don't know too much about it, but for what they have shown, I am thoroughly impressed. Versus, I don't know. Like I said before, I want something new when I play my games. The Last of Us is a continuation of what we had last generation, and it's a combination of things that I've already played. We already have Resident Evil for jump scares. You know what I'm saying? Where we have like, you know, um, um, horror mode or horde areas and things like that. I'm just not impressed. I'm not. I'm not. I'm really not. Like, I'll play it. Don't get it fucked up. I'll play it because, again, I want to see where the story goes. But don't act like you don't like story-driven games. Like, don't do that. Not at all. Next, we got Digital Foundry. They're in the news again. The gaming news. And everybody is singing their praises one more time, I guess. I don't fucking know. It's funny though, because it's like they are crowning the best looking game of 2019 with its art style and its technical prowess, even with PC games, as um, what was it, Death Stranding. And the funny thing is this: when it doesn't suit, and I don't like Digital Foundry, period. To me, I just don't like them. They're not very honest, and they have agendas all over the fucking place. And I'll keep that same energy the whole fucking way through. But when it comes to these PlayStation fanboys, they come out of nowhere and they're like, "Oh my God, Digital Foundry said that this is the best looking game." Who gives a fuck what they have to say? To be honest with you, you know what I mean? When they were talking about like what was that game? Fucking Gears of War. All of a sudden there was a problem, and oh, they you can't rely on them, and oh, they didn't do their analysis correct and everything like that. But all of a sudden now, Digital Foundry is the be all end all of technical. They're fucking human. How about that? I'm getting hyped. They're fucking human. They're human. They make mistakes. They're not game developers either. So everybody want to look at them as, being the gospel of technology. But there are people on YouTube, I'm not one of them, but there are people on YouTube that knows what the fuck they're doing, and they develop games and shit like that. They may talk to developers, but they're not developers. From what I understand, they have never developed a piece of software in their life. They just know how to build fucking computers. So stop using them as fucking gospel. You know what I mean? Like, technologically, I have a video, and it clearly shows that Horizon Zero Dawn still looks better. End the discussion. Let's go on to the next subject. I don't know what's gotten into me, to be honest with you. But we're going to talk about next generation. How the fuck is that going to work, to be perfectly honest? I mean, maybe, I don't know. This is Christmas Day. I fucking can't stand Christmas at all. I don't like it. I am a Christian, but I fucking hate Christmas. I don't like how it does. I don't like the people. I don't like anybody. But moving on from that, I'm not going to shit on anybody's holiday. Or I actually did already. The next generation got me thinking, though, on an actual note. I'm thinking to myself, next generation is literally this year, later on this year. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, next year, because we only have a few days of this year, but it's next year, right? And you're gonna have the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation Pro, the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, the fucking Xbox Series X, whatever the fucking Scarlet is, and then you're gonna have the PS5. And then you haven't lowered the price for any of these fucking consoles, really, for like the last couple of years. How is that supposed to work? Did you guys think about that? Like, are you going to still keep the PlayStation Pro at $400? Is that still going to be a thing, despite the fact that it is significantly weaker than both of the next generation consoles? Even the Xbox One X, there's different architectures, there's things going on with that. But how is that going to work? That's the question I wanted to pose to everybody. I don't know how that's really going to work. I mean, people say that consumers are kind of confused and shit like that, but just ask yourself that question. And we want to talk about that on our live stream, which I'm going to rebrand the name of. But it's going to be tomorrow. But just really ask yourself that question. How the fuck is that going to work? Shouldn't you have lowered the price for these current consoles? Really? Like, shouldn't you have lowered it so people won't get fucking confused or get clogged up? These retailers don't have infinite space. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you liked or disliked about the video, and if you liked it, a sub would be appreciated. I'll talk to you tomorrow.